A wife and husband were going through a rough patch. Their friends advised them to undergo a trial separation. They went on separate vacations, but they realized that it didn't help. So they decided to divorce, but without a prenup, they argued bitterly. "I want 60% of the estate," the wife demanded. "Nonsense," the husband retorted. The wife grew furious and yelled, "You'd better listen to me because I could kill you right now. If I weren't such a nice person, I would do it." The husband laughed and replied, "And how are you going to kill me?" "Remember when we went on our trips?" The wife responded. "Well, I learned black magic very well. In fact, I became an expert. I could kill you right now if I wanted to." The husband roared with laughter. "You know what? Do it. I dare you." "Fine," the wife replied. "Give me some of your fingernails or a lock of your hair." The husband nodded. He looked at his hands. "Too short. I'll go cut off my hair in the bathroom and bring it back." When he returned, he found her surrounded by lit black candles, holding a wooden effigy in one hand and an obsidian dagger in the other. He handed her the lock of hair, and she wrapped it around the effigy and raised the dagger. "Don't say I didn't warn you." The wife yelled and stabbed the effigy, and the husband thought to himself, "I've always hated how she leaves clumps of her hair on the shower walls." Submitted by /U or Yak Clear 600 one link comments. My friend died 30,000 ft below the ocean. My coworker, no, my friend just died. We're currently 30,000 ft below sea level, and he just fucking died. Sending my superiors that message, they of course asked for an in-depth report. Was he showing symptoms? Acting strange? And all the other type of shit you'd expect. I'm sure they suspect foul play, but no way I could do that shit. The final line of the report stared at me. Suspected cause of death. I searched my mind for a likely cause and wrote heart attack. I hope they never see his body the true cause. I close the report and rub my temples, hoping the headache starts to fade. I have a lot to do, I think. Firstly, packing up Roger's body into the plastic black tomb. I say a few words before taking him to the far end of the vessel, going back to the rec room, and beginning to clear the mess. I pack up the game of cards we never got to finish. My foot hits the red canister I used to try and save him, white powder still dripping from the nozzle. I look over to the Nautshard ground where he fell, the image of his lips stretched back into a ghastly smile, eye sockets empty, the residue running down his cheeks like tears, his skin a deep burgundy. I take a shot of the strongest shit I can get my hands on, mixing that with some painkillers, hoping it puts me to sleep. I know I'll need the help. My dreams will be plagued by the memories of what happened earlier that evening. "Hey, Roger, if you wanna, I'll raise you," I said. "Lose all your money, feel free." We'd been playing for the last couple of hours to pass the time, talking shit about who'd win Liam Neeson from Taken or Keanu Reeves as John Wick. That argument could last hours, the laughter drowning out the constant hum of the underwater pressure. It was around midnight when he turned to me and said, "He's almost here," before the light left his eyes and he fucking combusted. Literally turned into a ball of fire in front of me. I woke up. At that moment, a familiar smell assaulted my nostrils, followed by the sound of the dive door opening. I froze. Getting to my feet, I opened my cabin door. I saw no one until I looked down and saw charred footprints in the floor leading to the door. Impossible thoughts crossed my mind as I went to where Roger's body was, but all that remained was a heap of burnt plastic and chunks of melted skin. Stumbling over myself, I ran to the rec room where a large viewing area looked out into the deep, lit up so we could see the aquatic life. Looking out, I saw nothing until, on the edge of the darkness, I made out a figure scuttling off. It had the same ghastly grin. I sent an SOS message, and the crew are on their way. They'll be here in a few hours. I'll be okay. I'm gonna make it. Well, that's what I thought until I heard the dive door open, and the smell of burnt flesh filled the air. Submitted by /U or Brief Coyote 7753 link comments. I take people's illnesses for money. 2 new BMWs were parked in the garage of the large 2-story home. The smell of wood and leather lingered. Mrs. Waller sat in her wheelchair. Her face brightened as she saw me walk through the door. "Mr. Parker, I'm delighted you came." "I'm sure," I said, my voice low and monotone. "No need to worry, it's nothing serious, only a small tumor in my pancreas. I've already sent the payment through. Usually I don't do such things. It's hard to trust people who work this profession. But you, Mr. Parker, have been the most reliable." "I appreciate that." The floorboards creaked as I walked to the living room and picked up a mahogany chair with a leather backrest. "Mr. Parker, I apologize, but would you mind getting a different one? This one is very expensive. I'd hate it if something happened to it. Here, come take the piano chair." The piano chair didn't even have a backrest. The chair creaked as I picked it up, carried it to her wheelchair, sat down, and placed my hand next to hers. We closed our eyes, and I began counting down. Okay, 2 minutes had passed. Delightful. On the way home, I stopped at the grocery store. I tightened my grip on the wheel. "The fridge is almost empty," Emma had said. The store's fluorescent lights made my vision blurry. A small, dull pain started in my upper stomach, and the nausea followed. Luckily, the house wasn't far. The smell of cooked corn and beans hit my nose as I opened the door, making the nausea grow. Emma stood in the hall, her eyes lit up when she saw me. "Hi, Dad." "Hi, honey. Dad, are you okay? You seem sick again." "I know, I'll need to rest more." "I cooked up some beans and corn for you." "That's sweet. Is it okay if I eat it later?" "Okay," she said, looking at the ground. I rubbed her back and made my way up the stairs. Each step felt like a mountain. I collapsed into bed, still clothed. All night I kept turning, staring from one wall to the other, holding onto my stomach. The pain had spread to my back, replacing my thoughts. I blinked and the room was coated in darkness. Blinked again and the morning sun pushed back through the curtains. "Are you okay, Dad?" Emma called from behind the door. "Yes, just resting. Yesterday's dinner is in the fridge if you want it." "Thank you. I'll eat it later." "I'm gonna go to school now." "All right, have fun." By the time the sun started to disappear into the horizon, I managed to pull myself out of bed. The jobs had been getting harder. A year ago, I'd be fine in a day. Sealed envelopes lay stacked neatly on the coffee table. The red letter stared at me as I opened the first one, late notice. The second, the third, all the same. The phone began ringing. I put the envelopes down and picked up the phone. "Mr. Parker, we got your references from Mrs. Waller. My father has stage 4 lung cancer. He's in urgent need of the transfer. I've just done Mrs. Waller and I'm still very sick. We'll pay triple the rate." "I'm sorry, I really can't. How much do you ask for such a service?" "I can't offer anything right now. We'll pay $20,000. But I can't even drive, barely can get out of bed. We'll come to your house." No, that's out of the question. I know how family members can be around the transfer. We can come through the back door or the garage. No one will know. Once it's done, we'll leave immediately. Please call someone else. $30,000, Mr. Parker. My eyes darted to the envelopes. I don't know. $40,000. That would cover all the debt. Okay, great. Our butlers will bring my father there at midnight. The phone beeped, and the room fell silent again. I sat in the yard, drinking small sips of Gatorade, massaging my stomach. The moon was up in the sky, shining down on the grass. "Mr. Parker?" sounded from behind the gate. A tall man in a suit stood behind it. I got up, walked towards it, and opened it. The man came in, followed by 3 others. 1 carrying a black leather chair, and 2 carrying an old, frail man with sunken cheeks, pale skin, and thin arms and legs. His limbs were limp, and he was wheezing hard, barely pulling air into his lungs. They put the chair down next to mine and sat him in. He immediately sank into it. "I'll need the payment first." No problem, said the man and pulled out his phone. The notification dinged a second after. I looked at the man in the chair, took a deep breath, and sat down. May we proceed? Yes, yes, I said. I put my hand next to the man's, closed my eyes, and began counting. 115, 116. Dad, Emma's shaking voice came from the porch. Emma, this is not what it. Complete the transfer. I closed my eyes again and counted to 120. The men took the old man in the chair and ran out. Dad, were you doing the transfer? No, something. My chest tightened. I began coughing, lightly at first, but it quickly turned into hard, loud coughs. My body jerked. It felt like my lungs were going to come out. Are you okay? Yes, I'm. I dropped down to the ground. Splatters of blood fell out of my mouth. The coughs turned into wheezes. It felt like I was drowning. No matter how hard I breathed, nothing more would go into my lungs. I gripped the grass as the taste of iron filled my mouth. You promised you'd stop, she said between the cries. I turned my head away, unable to look into her eyes. Submitted by /U or abkane 667 link comments.